Well, Bishop, first of all, welcome to the Michigan
Thank you.
area.
Thank you. I'm excited about coming.
What excites you?
You know, they were telling me some of the things that are the strengths of the conference, things like missions, some of the diversity within the conference, and I've heard from so many people just the spirit of the conference, both conferences. I'm excited to get to know them both. In fact, the people that came through the line are just delightful, so I'm looking forward to building relationship.
Good. Tell us a little bit about yourself. We know that you came from Iowa and served in the Dakotas areas for two quadrennia, but tell us a little bit for people who don't know you.
Well, yeah, I grew up in Iowa. I'm a PK. And so there is no hometown. There's just sort of all over the state of Iowa. And then I served mostly in Iowa in the southeast and eastern part of Iowa. And just was on the district in the Waterloo area when I was elected in 2004. And my husband is an attorney trying to retire. We're working on that, not getting it done, but we're working on it. And has a law practice in Washington, Iowa, which is just south of Iowa City. Trying to close that up. I have two sons. My oldest son is Joel, and he is in Denver practicing law. We'll be getting married this September in Denver. And my youngest son, Aaron, is getting his second bachelor's degree in Iowa City in biology. He had a bachelor's degree in philosophy and history and found he couldn't do anything with that and found a real love for biology. His wife is in Berkeley, California, finishing up a doctoral program. So those are just the two kids and their wives.
Great. I'm going to say two words to you and want to get your initial reaction.
Okay.
What pops into your mind? Church vitality.
Church vitality. First thing that pops in my mind, it isn't just numbers. And one of the things that I believe very strongly, yes, numbers help us understand maybe the health of a congregation, but I have seen incredibly healthy, vital congregations that don't have huge numbers. And that vitality is just much more complex than just what simply shows up in those numbers. And vitality is a part of the spirit. You know, it's a heart thing as well. And how they live out their faith and how they live out their discipleship. To me, that is it helps us indicate who's vital and who's struggling.
What do you look for in a church for church vitality? What are some of the signals that tell you, this is a church that gets it. This is a church that's really reaching out the mission and living the mission statement of our denomination?
Certainly, worship that is engaging. And worship that calls us to a deeper faith, that calls us not only to a personal deeper faith, but a faith then that goes out the doors and into the world. So a worship that you feel a part of is a first really important part. Another for me is simply a sense of the individual discipleship of the people within that church. I don't think it's possible to have a transformational congregation until we transform our own faith and lives into that. Certainly outreach beyond the doors. A church may have loads of numbers, but if they're not doing anything beyond what they need for themselves, then I don't think that that's particularly vital. So those are just three off the top of my head, three things that I think are exceedingly important.
As you come to Michigan, what brings you joy when you think about that?
Oh, learning a new place, learning new people, that's always important to me. I've said this in other places, and it's true. I have fallen in love with every place I've served, and I fully expect to do the same. You find such incredibly faithful people wherever you are that I'm always inspired by that. So that's one of the things. I like north rather than south, believe it or not. You know, I don't mind winters. I don't like driving in them, but you know, I like the northern part of the United States. That's a neat area for me. And I think I've been hearing good things just about the people and the churches, and that's exciting for me. I'm a person who loves to find joy anyway, you know. So just the thought of coming is exciting.
reading your bio, I noticed that you have a degree in piano.
I do.
Performance.
Yes, yes.
You still play the piano?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. In fact, that was one of my spiritual disciplines when I was elected. Interestingly enough, as my churches got bigger and my responsibilities got larger in Iowa, I let the piano slide. And I realized when I was elected that if I were to find a balance in my life, I was going to have to find that other part of me that I had let go. And so my first renewal leave actually was going to a place where I could just really relearn some of my college pieces and get the music back under my fingers. So part of my spiritual discipline is that I hate to say this publicly because it'll happen and then it's good for me, I will say yes to play. If it's a good piano, if I have my music, but I've been very reluctant to play in the past because I'd gotten so rusty. But I discovered that God doesn't give me this gift to play it perfectly, but it is a gift, I hope, of the soul that I can share. So it's been an important spiritual discipline these last 8 years.
Interesting. I'll tell you more about it. So let me ask you,
Okay.
In the quadrennium befores that I have done these interviews, I usually end the interview by asking the newly elected bishop who comes to Michigan, because we always
You get the new ones, yes. Yes.
what their favorite movie is. So
Wow.
I'll give you a choice between that
Okay.
and what is your favorite hymn and why.
Oh,
Since
golly.
you're obviously musically
Yeah,
inclined.
it's really hard to pick the favorite hymn. That's that.
Okay.
But probably it is well with my soul, and great is my faith. Great is our faithfulness. Those would be the two that would be in contention. In fact, when I was elected, those are the two that I know I gave them. It is well with my soul. It just always strikes me. No matter where you are, no matter what's going on, there's a peace within that gets you through. And great is thy faithfulness. I mean, how can you not praise God when you look around? So those would be two of my favorites. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you. I am looking forward to it.